is basically to help you guys in any ways regarding breastfeeding, latching. If you guys have any soreness, various techniques, what can we do, whenever we are not able to feed the baby? How can we give the mother's feed to the baby? Breast milk storage. So I'm going to, cover everything. I'll just share my PPT with you guys. One second. And I hope you guys benefit from this session. Okay, we are also going to have a question and answer round. And once I'm done with the PPT, then you guys can write your questions in the chat box, and then I'm going to answer each one of them. So let's begin with the journey, preparing for breastfeed. So today we need to know what are the benefits of this session that you guys will be having. Number one, I'm going to educate the expecting parents on breastfeeding, how much important it is, how breast milk is formed, and what are the myths and facts about breastfeeding, what you hear from the peer, and what actually breastfeeding means, and busting the breastfeeding myths and understanding the baby cues. So every time if the baby is crying, that doesn't mean that the baby is hungry. So I'm going to cover all these topics. They say breast milk is supreme. Why? I always, love when it's an interactive session, but since it's a Zoom meeting today, so that's why, I was asking why, so that I get a reply from you guys. But in any which ways, I'm going to tell you. Breast milk is supreme because it's the best form of nutrition for the baby, and it comes from nature. So it is the most natural form of nutrition for the baby, and its composition is exactly how it is required for the baby at that time, at that particular time. Like when the baby is born, then at 2 months, 3 months, 3 weeks, whatever nutrition the baby requires, the breast milk compositions changes automatically. So breastfeeding from the ancient days have been influenced by attitudes of individuals and communities. Breastfeeding is considered natural art. So, like, we have never seen animals taking any synthetic milk, man-made milk, any formula feed. Similarly, humans also, their milk is made to satisfy the needs of their babies. But sometimes we humans, because we have so much of brains, we use them and we think that, they're motherly instincts, that we feel that the baby is not getting the right nutrition, the baby is not getting full. But usually it is not the case. It requires both mother and family to patiently nurture the baby to get his or her right to food, the supreme milk. So, breastfeeding is about three words. Number one, patience. Number two, practice. Number three, love. If you have all these three words, then you will conquer all the challenges that you're having during your breastfeeding. Recommendations. So WHO recommends that we should exclusively breastfeed our baby for the first 6 months of life, and followed by continued breastfeeding up to 2 years, along with complementary feeding. So we give home mashed foods to the babies after 6 months, along with breastfeeding up to 2 years. So it totally depends on a mother's choice whether you want to breastfeed the baby for at least 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years. So at 1.5 year, you can start weaning the baby. Initiation of the first feed. So coming to the initiation of the first feed, as soon as we at Cloud9 and otherwise also, we all basically recommend that the first feed should be within 1 hour of birth. WHO also recommends that the first baby feed of the baby should be at 1 hour of birth, and this is called the golden hour feed. So the first feed, whether it is cesarean or normal, we try the baby is put to the mother's breast as soon as possible after birth, because the baby is really alert during the first hour. The baby has just come out, the cord has been cut, the baby is crying. So the level of alertness is more in both baby and the mother. Early skin to skin contact helps to keep the baby warm because the baby has come from inside a warm environment and suddenly being exposed to our environment where temperature is not regulated. So, putting the baby onto the mother's breast gives the baby the feel of the natural temperature, body temperature, which the baby requires at that time. And also, it prevents the transfer of the healthy bacteria, it helps in transfer of healthy bacteria. So, because the baby has come from inside, the baby's immunity is really low. When the baby is put onto mother's breast, it helps to transfer skin-friendly bacteria to the baby and protects the baby from any diseases. So now a breastfed baby, what are the benefits? Supposedly one baby is having formula feed, one is having breastfeed. What is the difference? Why we should spend sleepless nights giving breastfeed to the baby? Why we can't give formula feed to the baby? Because there are numerous benefits which we don't realize right now, but yes, down the line when we see the baby growing up, and then we realize that no, breastfed babies are healthier as compared to the formula milk babies. Number one, the brain development is better. They usually say that baby's brain development 90% happens up to first 5 years of age, and 80% development happens in the womb. So, giving the breast milk to the baby, the brain development is any day better, better vision, healthier heart, and they have less tummy troubles. So, if you don't want to take your baby to pediatrician again and again for various infections or various, like even the common cold, that doesn't happen when your baby usually is on breastfeed. So whenever you go to the pediatrician will ask, are you exclusively breastfeeding or giving formula? You say that we are exclusively breastfeeding. The pediatrician will send you back and say that everything is fine. So when the baby is on exclusive breastfeeding, the visit to the doctors is less because there are fewer skin allergies, there's less eczema, fewer ear infections, respiratory infections, significant reduction in the risk of SIDS. SIDS is a sudden infant death syndrome that suddenly, the baby is no more and we don't get to know. When the baby is breastfeeding, the chances are less. Then, for mother, what are the benefits? Number one, postpartum, we as mothers, we all feel low because the life has changed. So what happens is when you are going to breastfeed, a hormone called oxytocin is released when the baby suckles onto the breast. This oxytocin hormone is a happy hormone. It helps you giving a feeling of contentment, giving a feeling of satisfaction, and in turn makes you happy. So the more the baby sucks onto the breast, the more oxytocin and prolactin are released, and the more milk you guys have, because oxytocin causes milk letdown. So, and also makes you a mother sleepy, helps in better sleeping of the baby, of the mother, and of course makes the mother happy. It's a happy hormone. So it helps to lessen the recovery time after birth. Also, when the baby is suckling onto the breast, the hormonal changes are such that the uterus starts shrinking because of oxytocin, and the postpartum bleeding is less. So you will bleed less if you are exclusively breastfeeding. There are less chances of postpartum hemorrhage. Helps the uterus to return to its pre-pregnancy size. That's why, mothers who breastfeed, initially they feel periods like cramping when the baby is sucking onto the breast. That's because the uterus is shrinking back to its normal size, and that's why these contractions are felt. It is cheaper than formula feeding because it is free of cost. So every time you don't have to get a formula 500 rupees, you can just save that money for yourself and go shopping because it is more convenient. You can breastfeed anywhere. So in malls also we have breastfeeding rooms, in metros and anywhere. You can just carry a feeding gown. You can feed the baby anywhere, and it is really something to be proud of. It reduces the risk of some infections, lowers the risk of some childhood cancers and juvenile diabetes, reduces the risk of allergies, and helps protects against sudden unexplained death syndrome, which we discussed earlier. Also, to the mother, it reduces the risk of uterus cancer or breast cancer, and also you are able to reduce your weight very easily after once you're breastfeeding after delivery, because every day when you are breastfeeding the baby, you're burning 550 calories approximately. So most of the mothers I see in the room when I go to meet them, they are sweating so much while breastfeeding. It is because they're burning calories. So 550 calories means 1 hour of gym. So whenever you are breastfeeding, every day you're burning 550 calories, you're going to sweat a lot, you're going to feel a lot of hunger. So you eat healthy and you're automatically going to come back into shape. Now, what are the types of milk that are present in the breast milk? So for the first few days of baby's life, the milk is not the same. First 3 days we have colostrum, which is thick yellow milk, or it can be watery transparent. So what happens is this process of lactogenesis starts early during the pregnancy only, like 16th, 17th week. You start, your breast start preparing for breastfeeding. And you have colostrum after 28, 29 weeks, but it is not visible because the hormones, they stay in control. As soon as you guys enter the labor, or it is 37 weeks and you deliver through cesarean, the hormonal changes happen, and as the baby sucks onto the breast, automatically the colostrum starts letting down. So the first 3 days, the milk that you have, it's like a very good gold standard liquid for the baby, which we call as the gold milk also, because it is very rich in immunity and it is all that the baby requires. So with the colostrum, we are not satisfying the calorie requirement for the baby, but we are inculcating a habit of suckling into the baby, which is already present. But if we keep giving formulas, the baby will not suck onto the breast. Then naturally, when demand is not there, the supply will not be there. So that's why with first 3 days, when we are offering colostrum to the baby, it's more than enough for the baby. You have to breastfeed the baby every 2.5 hours, so that you are meeting the energy requirements, you're meeting the needs of the baby. And most important need as soon as the baby grows is, as soon as the baby is born, is a closeness, warmth, that the baby gets once the baby is close to the mother's breast. Because when the babies are born, they cannot see that this is my mom, this is my dad. They cannot recognize you. How do they recognize you? Not through vision. They recognize you through touch, when the babies place hands onto your breast, and through smell of the colostrum. So the colostrum, the liquid that is coming, and the smell of the amniotic fluid, that's quite alike. So that's why whenever the baby will come onto your breast, the baby will tend to sleep, because that's their habitat, that's their home. So most of the mothers, they also complain that, ma'am, whenever the baby comes to my breast, he or she sleeps. So in that case, I always tell them that, wake up the baby nicely every 2.5 hours, tap under the feet of the baby, let the baby cry for 5-10 minutes, or change the diaper of the baby, or rub the back of the baby. These are the methods of waking up the baby. Once the baby is awake nicely, you can calm down the baby if the baby is crying, and then put the baby to breast. So 10-15 minutes are more than enough for any baby to satisfy the needs. Some babies, they take longer, they might take 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but if they are breastfeeding for minimum 10-15 minutes, it is good enough. And we always offer one breast at a time. The second type of milk that we get is foremilk and hindmilk. So after 4 days, when the actual milk starts coming, after colostrum, that is the main milk, white milk. So first 3 days, you will have colostrum, which can be thick yellow or it can be watery. Then we get white free-flowing milk. In that white free-flowing milk that we are getting after 3-4 days, there is foremilk, which is the first milk that the baby gets when the baby starts sucking. This foremilk has more of water and it quenches the baby's thirst. And the second type of milk that we have is hind milk. Hind milk has a lot of fats. That's why it stays behind. So this hind milk helps in increasing the baby's weight. No human in this world can, tell you that this much of foremilk you're getting and this much of hind milk you're getting. So don't get into that. The best way of ensuring that the baby is getting foremilk, hind milk is offering one breast at a time. If you're feeding the baby from the left breast and you are feeding the baby from that breast only for 15-20 minutes or half an hour or during the entire feeding time, that means you are giving hind milk also to the baby. We do blunders when we give 10 minutes one breast, 10 minutes other breast. So only give one breast at a time. In the next feed, after you burp the baby, like after half an hour or 2 hours, then offer the other breast. So when you get the matured milk, 5 to 7 days until wean, in that we have foremilk or hind milk. Is it clear to everyone? Can I have a thumbs up? Yeah. Thank you, Ratna. Pooja, are you able to understand? Yeah. Pooja Pandey, I can see you. That is so sweet of you. You've kept your camera on. Yeah, you're able to understand. Thank you. Others also, they can switch on their cameras. It's quite interesting, to talk to faces and not talk to the screen. I always like talking to people. I don't like talking to the screen. Yeah. Thank you, Abgail. Yeah. Okay. So how much the baby needs? Now, most of the mothers first 3 days, they have this complaint, ma'am, baby is not full. Baby is not full. Baby is crying again and again. Even after taking the feed, the baby is crying. So first counseling that I tell them is about babies. When you are pregnant and you are walking, the baby is sleeping while you're walking because the baby is getting a cradle. Okay, so when you are walking, the baby is inside your womb, the baby is getting a cradle during the day. You're doing your household chores, you're doing your activity, work, everything. The baby is getting a cradle. So baby is sleeping during the day. At night, whenever you lie down, you feel more movements because the baby is up. So similar sleeping patterns baby follow once they're born. So when at night they're awake, and they have come from a womb environment where the pressure from all the sides was same, and suddenly coming out we put them to a cot with no warmth of mother, with nothing, they don't feel safe over there. That's why whenever they are awake at night, they keep crying. It is not because the babies are not feeling full, or they are hungry. So they are crying because they want mother's warmth, they want father's warmth, they want to be close to their loved ones. They can sense you, they can feel you through touch and smell and taste. That's why they breastfeed more at night. But usually, a baby's capacity on day one, the stomach size is that of a small pea, that is only 5 to 7 ml. On day three, it grows to 20 to 30 ml. And on 1 week, it is 45 to 60 ml. 1 month, it is 80 to 150 ml. And after that, then it grows up to 200, like an adult stomach size is 200 to 250 ml. So slowly the stomach size increases. And what do we do? Sometimes, like if the baby is not feel full, we are going to make 30 ml formula to a 1 day or 2 day old baby, and we are going to give the entire amount to the baby. Then of course the baby is going to sleep for hours. Not because the baby is full and not getting full through mother's feed, but because we have been overfeeding the baby with so much of sugar, so much of fat. Mother's milk is 80% water, and it has an enzyme lipase that makes the mother's milk easily digestible. So if you are burping the baby, you will notice that many times the baby might not burp. That is also normal because mother's milk is easily digestible. But on formula, the baby needs to take a burp because you cannot digest a man-made thing easily. That's why on formulas, the babies sleep more. So if I'm having junk food right now, I'm going to sleep easily throughout the night for 9-10 hours. But if I am having healthy salad, I'll be hungry at night after a few hours. It's a similar difference between a healthy food and a junk food. Because breast milk is actually what the baby needs and the nature has made it so healthy, the baby is hungry early. And that's why you need to cater to the baby's demands. And for the first few days, it is not about the hunger also. It is about the warmth and the support the baby requires from you guys. So the more you keep the babies close to your breast, the better the baby feels. The temperature of the baby is also regulated. There's no hypothermia. Now, so this is a very important part to understand the sleep cycle. So at night, if your mother or your father or anybody in the family tells you that, the baby is crying, the baby is hungry, you please tell them it is not because of hunger. Baby can cry due to many reasons. One, while passing urine, while passing fart, while passing motion, or if the baby just wants the comfort of mother, father, the smell of mother, father, because they are awake at night, their mind is active. That's why they are demanding for more feed, because that's the only familiar thing they are having. And also because night feeding is important, and baby sucking more during the night, then you will have better supply if you are doing the night feed. If you're giving formula at night, feeding during the day, the supply would always be less. So you have to breastfeed a newborn for every 2.5 hours, or on demand, whichever is early. I usually say 2.5 to 3 hours. But if you feel waking up the baby is an issue, then you can feed every 2.5 hours also. Now, 2.5 hours means 2.5 hours from starting of the feed, not ending the feed. Because if you're ending the feed after half an hour and after that you're taking 2.5 hours, that means that's 3 hours. Then the baby will have weight loss. And then again, doctor will introduce formula milk. So it should be ideally from start of the feed 2.5 to 3 hours. You're going to breastfeed the baby. So it's 8 to 10 times in 24 hours. If the baby demands before that, just see why the baby is crying. If there is inconsolable cry and the baby is not able to, you are not able to calm down the baby, then offer the breast. Baby can be hungry in half an hour, 40 minutes, 1 hour. We can't say initially, because their behavior is according to what they want, they got in the womb. So now, while coming to the breastfeeding techniques, attachment is very, very important. Now, what is attachment? The way the baby is putting the breast in the mouth is called a latch. Most of the mothers, so today also I got a mother in the OPD. She was exclusively breastfeeding for the past 20 days, but the weight gain was not that great. When I checked her latch, when I checked her breastfeeding, I assessed her breastfeeding, I got to know that the latch was not proper. The baby was holding only onto the nipple, because of which she was having pain also on the nipple. So if the latch is not correct, if it is a poor latch, then you will have soreness, pain, cuts. Painful breastfeeding is not normal. If you're having pain in your breast while breastfeeding, that means something is wrong. So please consult a lactation consultant, go and get your breastfeeding assessed, because that means the latch is not proper. You can apply n number of ointments like this nip care ointment, there's Lancino ointment, LANSINOH. So there are n number of ointments that you can apply after the feed, but it will not solve the purpose. The ointment will help to heal the previous cuts, but if you want to avoid the future cuts and bleeding onto the nipple, you have to correct the latch. So to get a proper latch, it is important how you hold the baby, how you hold the breast. Okay. So like I have a baby doll here. So this is the mouth of the baby. Okay. Yeah. So you hold the breast cup shape. So you're always going to hold the breast like this, cup shape. You never hold the breast like this. You never hold the breast like this. You always hold it from far away. The lower portion of the areola, as you can see, on the screen, the lower, you lift the breast up, you make sure that your nipple is opposite to the baby's nose. You are not supposed to, keep the nipple here. Most of the mothers, they hold the nipple like this and put it in the baby's mouth. This is inappropriate. Hold the breast nicely like this from far away, and you keep the nipple opposite to the baby's nose. Okay, you rub the nipple to the baby's nose, the baby will automatically open the mouth. This is called rooting. As soon as you get the nipple to the baby's nose, the baby will do this. This is like looking for the breast. Now these babies, they don't have neck control for the first 2-3 months of life. So they will do this if you don't push their neck forward. Yeah. If you don't push their neck forward like this, they are going to just hold on to nipple and cut the nipple. So you are going to rub the nipple to the baby's nose. As soon as the baby is moving the head like this, looking for the breast, opening the mouth, you're going to push the neck forward like this. So this is called a good latch. Okay. So this is called the cradle position. Holding the breast from the opposite hand. Can you guys see? Holding the breast from the opposite hand and head is on the same hand as that side of the breast. This is cradle. Now, what is cross cradle? Holding the neck with this hand, the opposite hand. Okay. And breast with the other hand. Okay. This is cross cradle. Is it clear? Pooja, is it clear? Because I can just see you. Yeah. So this is cross cradle. So you see nicely the body is tucked in. You can place a pillow here and holding the neck. Never hold the baby from the head. When you push the baby from the head, supposedly some mothers hold the babies like this. When you push the baby from the head, the baby is going to push back like this. Then you will feel that the baby is rejecting. Always hold the baby from neck and shoulder like this. This hold. Okay, nicely, firm hold. Hold the breast, rub the nipple to the nose. As soon as the baby opens the mouth, push forward. Push the neck forward. Third position that we see is football hold. We place two pillows here. Mother is sitting with back supported. Baby is in the underarm. Okay. Yeah. So this is football. Baby is in the underarm, holding the breast from the opposite hand, neck in the same hand. So this is a very good position for the stitches. Those who have had cesarean after 24 hours when they are sitting, we suggest this position to them. Okay, so I'm holding the neck of the baby. Baby's body is resting on the pillows. With the other hand, I'm holding the breast. As soon as the baby opens the mouth, I'm going to push the neck forward. So these three positions, cradle, cross cradle, and football. For this hand, football is this. These three are basic positions. You can feed the baby in lying position also. There's nothing like, milk leaking from the ear or anything like that. All are myths. You can feed the baby in lying or side lying position, but make sure you are not pressing the nose of the baby. The baby is able to breathe. Sometimes the breast is too heavy. It comes onto the baby's face. So if the baby's nose is open, otherwise you can breastfeed in any position of the world. You should be comfortable. Don't slouch forward. Half of the mothers, instead of pushing the baby forward, they slouch forward. This is the worst part because you have to breastfeed for 6 months. You'll have very bad neck and very bad back. Yeah. So the lower areola should go into the baby's mouth first, as you can see in the picture, and then the nipple. So when you're going to keep the nipple here, the lower areola will go first and then the nipple. So always place the nipple opposite to the nose or the upper lip, so that when the baby opens the mouth, the baby holds the lower areola first and then the nipple goes inside. So nose on the target, as you can see in the first picture. In the second picture, the baby is opening the mouth. Third picture, the mother is pushing the neck forward. Automatically, the lower areola, as you can see in the first picture, the lower areola is going into the mouth. Chin is touching, last picture, chin is tucked, and it's touching the breast. Lower lip is turned outside. So this is the kind of latch that we want. Lower lip should be flanged outside. It should be like this. And the baby is latched. Delatching method, if you find your latch painful, don't continue breastfeeding in a painful latch. You have to unlatch the baby. How do we do that? Insert a clean finger into the baby's corner of the mouth. So the latch will be too strong. What you have to do, you have to forcefully insert a finger in the corner of the mouth. The baby will start sucking onto the finger and will leave the nipple. And then you pull the neck back. Is it clear? So you have to break the suction first with your finger. Breastfeeding should not be painful. It is painful, then the latch is incorrect. Unlatch the baby and try again. I, as a lactation consultant, has had nipple cracks and bleeding. So every time I used to unlatch the baby and latch properly. So it is all about latch, trust me. Sometimes the skin is new, and because of that also we have it. So what you guys can do is take out your own milk, 2 drops, and apply onto your nipples after feeding. That has healing properties. And don't wipe the breast every time you're breastfeeding. In the morning, once you've taken the bath, if you're too sweaty, you can just use a tissue paper or a wet cloth. You can just dab the breast. Don't rub or wipe the breast every time before feeding. That's a blunder that we do because our breast has automatically, it has the natural oils, which keeps the skin supple. So if you are wiping that, you're breaking the skin barrier. And again, you'll have soreness. These are the positions that we have discussed. You can breastfeed if you've ended up with a cesarean. Then also you can breastfeed from day one in lying position. After 24 hours, the nurses, the consultants will make you sit, and then you can breastfeed the baby. If you have twin babies, then football hold, which I told you, demonstrated you, is a wonderful method to breastfeed. You can breastfeed in side lying. Only thing you have to make sure is you're not pressing the baby's nose. Cross cradle, laid back nursing. Anyways, you can breastfeed. The latch should be proper. Timing, baby should suck actively on the breast for at least 15 to 20 minutes, can extend up to 30 minutes or 40 minutes, not more than that. Some babies don't leave the breast, so you have to unlatch the baby, give the baby to someone else, because breastfeeding babies are really, chipku. They want their mothers all the time. So just breastfeed for half an hour, unlatch, and give it to someone else for burping. Because if you keep them to yourself only, whole day, whole night, then you will feel a little disappointed or sad that, I'm breastfeeding so much, I'm tired. So to get good sleep, sleep when the baby's sleeping. It's the golden rule. You will get to sleep in morning because nights might be hectic. So if the baby is sleeping morning 7 to 10, don't try to take a bath at that time. Just go to sleep. Then first month, the feed is on demand, or every 2 to 3 hours during the day and the night, right? So either, as I discussed, it's on demand or 2 to 3 hours, whichever is early. Here are some interesting facts to reassure you that all your discomfort in feeding at night is worth it. Trust me, I'm a mother of a 7-year-old. I have also cried because, I have had sleepless nights. Everybody wants to sleep for 8 hours. But it is all worth it after 6 months. So the golden rule is always take one night at a time. Think that, okay, in the morning when I'll wake up, then I'll give formula. Just think like that. And then morning, you'll be much better because you'll be able to sleep in the morning. And then at night, when you feel like you're exhausted, you can always express out your milk and give it to the baby through katori and spoon. That option is also available, but don't express too much. Just use it as like once in a day or twice in a day. Evening and nighttime breast milk is full of sleep inducing and brain boosting substance. Oxytocin is released more at night and evening because you are relaxed, you want to sleep, you are dozy. That's why. Night breastfeeding is essential for keeping moms long-term milk breastfeeding because babies are suckling more at night. So more oxytocin is released, more milk is produced. It's demand and supply. The more demand is there at night, the more supply you will have. If you are missing the night feeds you're giving formula, the supply will go less. Okay? So they consume more milk at night, of course, because babies are active. Din mein utha ke you'll keep feeding the baby. Instead, they're active at night. So then maybe you're giving the feed, but at night they'll be better able to take the feed. Nighttime breastfeeding, sleep more than formula feeding moms. So if you're feeding in lying position, baby is suckling onto the breast, oxytocin is released, you feel sleepy. So you'll be able to sleep more at night with the baby because baby is close to the breast. How to survive breastfeeding baby at night. Tips to do it safely and stay awake. Dim the night light. So you have to change the sleep pattern of the baby. So at night, during the day, keep your normal course on, keep your sounds on. And at night, just dim the light. Nicely swaddle the baby so that the baby knows the difference between day and night. Basket of essentials nearby, nursing pillow, water, snacks. Keep some fruits nearby because you'll be hungry. You're breastfeeding for a whole night, you'll be hungry. Comfortable breast positions, lie side like sidelines, laid back line. Just learn from your lactation consultant. How can I feed in lying position? I always teach my mothers how to feed in lying position because sitting and breastfeeding for whole night is a little tedious and exhaustive. Bed sharing with the baby to understand the baby's hunger. So if the baby is waking up at night and you're just hugging the baby or you're giving KMC to the baby, kangaroo mother care, and the baby is all settled, then that means the baby is not hungry. So every time the baby is crying, it's not necessary, it's because of hunger. Soothing music or white noise you can play during the night. That will help the baby to sleep better at night. And it takes approximately 15-20 minutes for the babies to go into deep sleep. So try to uh, uh, calm down the baby, burp the baby, or if you're feeding in lying position and if the baby goes to sleep, it's okay not to burp, because once you take the baby up for burping, the baby will be awake. So if the baby is sleeping and at night you're feeding, baby doesn't burp, then also your milk will be digested. So don't think it will not be digested. Okay. So baby feeding cues. How does the baby show? Early cues will be that the baby will start opening the mouth like this. That means the baby is getting hungry. Turning the head side to side or rooting, like looking for the breast. Mid cues will, the baby will start stretching the body because of hunger. Increasing the physical movement, hand to mouth, lip smacking noise. Late cues is crying. So if your baby is crying because of hunger, it's an inconsolable cry. That means the baby has been hungry, you have not noticed the signs, and it's a very late feeding cue. So if the baby is crying every half an hour, that doesn't mean the baby is hungry. Check for other signs. Susu, potty, sardi, garmi, godi. What is the reason? Then agitated body movements, color turning red. The cry is really bad, inconsolable. That means the baby is hungry. In this case, the baby will not breastfeed. You will first have to calm down the baby by cuddling the baby close to you and tapping and giving skin to skin, stroking on the head. These strokes are very relaxing for the baby. And once the baby calms down a little bit, quickly latch the baby. Don't take much time. Stimulation. Now what happens? The baby follow three types of pattern. One is during breastfeeding. Suck, swallow, breathe. The baby is going to suck for 4 times, swallow the milk, so the baby will stop, and breathe. So there's a brief pause in between. Then again suck for 4 times, and then it's going to stop. So don't think the baby has slept. Have some patience. If the baby doesn't start sucking on its own, then tickle on the side of the ear or under the feet, nicely like this, tickling or under the feet. The baby will start sucking. So that's how you breastfeed the baby continuously for 15 to 20 minutes. Is the baby done? There are only two methods of determining whether the baby has got enough food or not. One is baby's urine output, right? You have to keep a check on the baby's urine output, and the baby will be playful and happy. And the baby should pass at least 5 to 6 urine in 24 hours on feeding 8 to 10 times, 5th day onwards. For the first 5 days of life, it should be according to the age. So 1 day baby will pass urine for minimum 1 time or more than that. 2 day baby, twice or more than that. 3 days, thrice or more than that. From 5th day onwards, the baby is passing urine for 6 times or more than that in 24 hours. That means the baby is getting enough food. Burping, you take the baby up, simple. Stabilize the neck of the baby and tap from bottom to down. Number one. Another method is making the baby sit in your lap, okay, holding the neck and burping down. This is another method. Or just holding it like this, stabilizing and burping down. This is a second method when you can burp the baby. See, as you can see in the picture. Holding from the front and burping the baby. Now, common problems that mothers face is sore nipples. So if you're going to have sore nipples, that means your latch is not proper. You're going to work on the latch, meet the lactation milk supply. Low milk production. So in first 3 days, it will always be colostrum. So it is not visible. Your breast might not get heavy. It is okay. Third day onwards, it will get heavy. How do we know it is actually low milk production? If the baby is having weight loss. For the first few days, it should be 8 to 10%, which is normal. But if it is more than that, that means there is some issue. Either the latch is not proper or there is low milk production. Get yourself checked. Engorgement. On third day, suddenly when actual milk starts coming, your breast feel heavy. Always wear a bra after second day so that your breasts are well supported and there is no engorgement. This heaviness is physiological because suddenly the milk has started gushing in. But if your breast feel too heavy, you're not breastfeeding the baby or you're not expressing out the milk, there are lumps in the breast. That is pathological engorgement. Then for that, you need to come and meet the lactation consultant. Sometimes this milk gets dried into the ducts, milk ducts, from where the milk comes. So the milk ducts, they become blocked, because of which you feel lumps also. Again, this is an issue. If we are not solving engorgement, the ducts will get blocked, leading to mastitis. You will have fever. You will have redness around the breast. The area will become warm. This is infective mastitis. So this is all related. So get yourself assessed and treated for the same. Some mothers need for expression of breast milk. If you have problem with latch on, the nipple is bleeding, you need to express the milk, give your breast some rest, apply the ointment, and then latch properly once the breast feel better. If you are over lactating, the best way is to feed in this position. It's a gravity assisted position. You bend back, laid back position, and you're feeding the baby. The shower of the milk will be less because of gravity. And also you can use ice pack. Ice packs basically help to reduce the supply, like to constrict the ducts, to constrict the lymphatics and reduce the pressure of the supply. If you are over lactating, ice is a good option, ice pack. Preterm babies, if the baby is in the NICU, please express out. Low birth weight babies, in that case, along with breastfeeding directly, to save the calories of the baby, you need to express and give additional EBM, express breast milk to the baby. In case the engorgement is too much, you have to express, and manual expressing through hand is always a good option. Inverted nipples, still it depends. You don't need to express it. Sometimes, if the inversion is just 1 degree or 2 degree, nipple comes out. But if you are not able to breastfeed the baby at all, it's a 3rd degree inversion, then you need to express and give it to the baby till the baby learns sucking on the inverted nipples. If the jaundice is too much, the baby needs to be kept in the UV lights, then you need to express and give the milk to the baby, and in case of working mothers also. Now, breast pumps, they are recommended only after 3rd day. First 3 days, if you need to express, then manual expression is the most important. Because with hand, you will be better able to express the thick yellow milk. Pump come into picture when you have the mature milk after 3 days. And whatever milk you're getting in the pump, it's not necessary that it is the entire milk. Breast might have had more milk. Okay, so don't judge your supply with whatever you're getting in the pump. No need to buy a breast pump before the delivery. Let's just focus on the baby right now and making ourselves understand that I can breastfeed the baby. It is all confidence. Get your breast assessed during the antenatal period through lactation consultants so that you know the shape of the nipple is appropriate or not. Can dads help with breastfeeding? Yes, dads can help with breastfeeding by taking care of the baby when the mother is not breastfeeding, changing the diapers, giving KMC to the babies, kangaroo mother care, even the dads can give skin to skin. If the mother is sleeping, then a dad can give skin to skin. Attend a breastfeeding class with the mom. Skin to skin, let baby sleep in your room with you. Praise mom, tell her she's doing great. I want all of you to please tell dads about this, because listening to one positive thing, one appreciation boosts our morale so much as women. And we get motivated to breastfeed for 6 months. Give mom breaks between feedings. So dads can help with burping, changing diapers, reduce the stress in the home. If elders are saying something, dads can always uh, interfere in between and tell them that she's doing her bit. Let her do it her way and contact the consultant if there are any issues. But listening to what the family is saying and then pressurizing the mom everywhere, she's hearing our milk used to be this, our milk used to be that, that is not good. So you need to be great support for the mothers. Okay, you can take care of the mothers. You can just comb their hair, give them good food, give them breaks. That if the mother is sleeping for 3 hours, they can just take the baby out at nights. When mothers are breastfeeding, babies not sleeping, they can give skin to the babies. So of course dads can help. Thank you. Now we can take question and answers, Anjali.
Hi Priyanka, thank you for the wonderful session. It was very informative. We have received more than 100 queries, so we will not be able to take each and every question individually. However, I will consolidate all the questions and I will be asking you one by one. So first is my baby seems hungry even after breastfeeding for 30 to 40 minutes and I have to supplement with formula. Is it normal?
It's normal because most of the mothers feel so, but it is not actually the case. So you have to see, you make a 24 hours chart that I'm feeding the baby at this time, start of the feed, end of the feed, what time is the baby passing urine. If your baby is passing urine for 6 times or more than that in 24 hours on feeding on your milk, on feeding 8 to 10 times without giving the formula, that means the baby is getting enough milk. Second factor is the weight gain. Every day should be minimum 25 grams. Every week it should be minimum 150 to 200 grams. And every month it should be minimum 500 grams. If this much weight gain is happening on your milk, then the baby is crying not because of the formula, but because the baby wants your warmth. Now, since you are giving the formula, weaning will take time. So you can reduce formula 30 ml every day and increase your breast milk. Or what you can do is before feeding the baby, you can pump out the milk and then feed the baby. The baby will get the hind milk. And after that, if the baby is doing a lot of halla or crying a lot, then you can give your expressed milk instead of formula. So always first pump and then feed the baby so that you have some milk in the pump. So if the baby is crying, that doesn't mean the baby is hungry. First, see why the baby is hungry. Is the baby quiet in father's lap? That means the baby is not hungry. It is out of the habit and smell of the breast that the baby keep asking. They don't leave the breast. If the baby is passing urine appropriately, that I have mentioned, and gaining weight enough, then you don't need to give formula. Give formula only if the baby is not passing urine for 6 to 8 hours or if the sugar is low, going low.
Okay, thank you. Next question. How do I know if my baby is getting enough milk while breastfeeding? I sometimes need to give formula afterward.
No mother can get to know after every feed that how much milk has gone into the baby. You have to keep patience, just make a 24-hour chart. This time I've started the feed. You can make it in your phone also. Start time, end time, urine. You see in 24 hours the baby has passed urine for 6 times, just be relaxed. See the
Okay.
baby, how the methods to calm down the baby. Do lot of skin to skin. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The next one is my baby wants to be fed every 1 to 2 hours. Is this normal?
It is normal because breast milk is 80% water. So might be the baby is hungry in 1 to 2 hours. Also, there will be times of cluster feeding. At 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, the babies will have their growth spurts. So the baby will feed more frequently. 5 minutes, the baby will take the breast, will leave. 5 minutes again, take the breast, then leave. It is okay. Be patient. This will happen for 4 to 5 days, then supply will automatically get normal according to the demand, and automatically you will pass this period. Sleep when the baby is sleeping. And if in case you're too much exhausted, express out the milk, give it to someone else in the house to feed the baby through katori and spoon, and just take some rest.
Okay. How long should I follow the 2 hour feeding rule?
Sorry?
How long should I follow the 2 hour feeding rule?
I think only 15-20 days. It's just that initially the babies are too much sleepy. So you don't have to feed the baby every 2 hours. You have to feed the baby every 2.5 to 3 hours or on demand, whichever is early. 2.5 to 3 hours from starting of the feed. If you are counting from ending of the feed, then it is 2 hours.
Okay. My milk supply seems to have reduced. How can I increase it?
By increasing the sucking of the baby and pumping. So the
Okay.
more demand is there on the breast, the more supply will be there. Also, you can take natural galactogogues like jeera water, cumin tea, fenugreek tea, and papaya. They're all natural galactogogues to increase the supply.
Okay. My baby has trouble latching and cries a lot. Will they ever latch properly?
Yes, you need to consult a lactation consultant.
Okay. Sometimes my baby doesn't burp after feeding. Is that okay?
If it is on your milk, then it is okay. But if it is on formula, then of course the baby needs to digest the formula. So burping is important, but if it is on your milk, it is okay.
Okay. How long should we continue to burp the baby after feeds?
Or 5-10 minutes is enough. But if the baby has like some babies, they have acid reflux, like they have GRD. So if the baby pukes out the milk, your milk also, then you can increase the burping time to 15-20 minutes. But if the baby is not puking out the milk, the baby is taking out only curdled milk, that is the digested milk. So then 5-10 minutes is more than enough.
Okay. My baby feeds for a short time, that is 5 to 10 minutes, and then refuses to feed for hours. Should I be concerned?
Sorry, please repeat once again.
My baby feeds for a short time, that is 5 to 10 minutes, and then refuses to feed for hours. Should I be concerned?
It depends, like what is the age of the baby? You haven't mentioned that, how many months the baby is old. But if the baby is like more than 1 month, some babies they finish feeding in 5-10 minutes, some take half an hour. So it is okay if the baby is passing urine properly and gaining enough weight, then it's not a concern.
Okay. My baby sometimes feeds back to back with only a 10-minute gap. Is this normal?
Yeah, depends if it is a cluster feeding time, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. The baby has growth spurt. So if it is the baby is going through growth spurt, that means the baby is cluster feeding. It will take 4 to 5 days.
Okay. My baby starts sucking hands after breastfeeding. Is this a sign of hunger?
No, it's not a sign of hunger. It's just out of habit that the babies do that.
Okay. I experience pain or a burning sensation during breastfeeding, and sometimes there is blood in the nipple. How can I heal this?
That is soreness and cracks. You have to correct the latch. And of course, apply ointment. There are many ointments available. It should be pure lanolin. So any pure lanolin ointment is going to help you. But that will heal the old cracks. Also, you can apply your breast milk, the hind milk, after the feed. That has healing properties, but you need to correct the latch and meet the lactation consultant.
Okay. My breasts become softer after feeding. Does this mean they are empty and I need to wait before the next feed?
No, the feeling of the breast doesn't matter. It's the urine output. If the baby is passing urine nicely, then it's okay.
Okay. My baby sometimes spits up or vomits after feeding. How can I prevent this?
Vomits after feeding. So it
Yeah.
depends. Sometimes the babies they overfeed. So if it is happening only once or twice in a day, it's normal. But if it's happening after every feed, that means there can be some kind of allergy. You need to talk to pediatrician. If the baby is spitting only curdled milk, that is normal. That is the digested milk.
Okay, there was another query regarding the same thing. So my baby doesn't burp after feeding, but then after some time it vomits.
After every feed, if the baby is vomiting after every feed, then you need to contact the pediatrician. But if it is 1 or 2 feeds, the baby is taking out only some amount of feed, that means the baby is overfed. They don't realize that they are getting overfed.
Okay. Does what I eat, like cold foods or spicy foods, affect my baby? Example like gas or
No,
stomach upset.
no, no, not at all.
Can I fast while breastfeeding?
You can fast, but you will feel hungry because you're burning 550 calories every day. So you can fast, you will lose weight faster because
Okay.
your those energy reserves will be used from your fat cells in the body.
Okay. Is it okay to give formula milk along with breastfeeding?
It is okay, but why are you giving formula? Just consult a consultant.
Okay. How can I transition my baby from formula to exclusive breastfeeding?
So it depends. We need to assess your breast, how much milk you're having, how many weeks is the baby old. And why are you giving formula? So the weaning happens slowly. Every day you can reduce 30 ml top feed and replace it with breast milk. And after assessing the breast only, we can tell whether there is enough milk in the breast for the baby or not. So try and increase the sucking of the baby and then give formula after breastfeeding the baby. Slowly, as your milk will increase, the formula will reduce.
Okay. What feeding positions help prevent back pain in the long run?
uh, Laid back position, any position in which you are well, the back is well supported. So you have to sit comfortably and get the baby to the chest. You don't have to slouch forward.
Okay. Um, how do I improve my baby's latch and prevent feeding issues?
Laptop working. तो कर लेना बातें. Sorry.
Sorry, how do I improve my baby's latch and prevent feeding issues?
Uh, to prevent feeding issues and improve latch by sitting properly. First, your position should be comfortable. Then you take the baby close to the breast like this. Use pillows, feeding pillow, normal pillows, and then take the baby close to the breast. You don't have to slouch forward. So when your position is correct and you are placing the nipple opposite to the nose, baby's opening the mouth, pushing them forward, then of course the latch will be dropped.
Okay. Should I wake my baby at night for feeding if they sleep for long stretches?
So if the baby is like 2, 3 months old, then you don't need to wake them. But if the baby is just 1 month or less than that, then you need to wake them every 3 hours.
Okay. Is it okay to breastfeed while lying down without burping the baby?
Yeah, it's okay.
My baby bites while feeding, and I have noticed blood in my nipples. What should I do? Again, it's a similar question.
I think we've covered most.
Yeah. So, does mother's milk become sour if not fed for long? And should I express and discard milk after 3 to 4 hours?
No need to discard milk. Milk is like gold. Why do you want to waste it? Yeah, so mother's milk at room temperature, that is 26 to 28 degrees Celsius, stays for 4 hours. So just breastfeed within 4 hours, and at in fridge it stays for 24 hours. So when you take out of the fridge, you need to thaw.
Okay. Um,
Then use the milk within 1 hour. Thawing
oh,
is keeping the milk in some hot water, the container, not directly boiling or using microwave. That's not the right.
okay. My baby is 2 months old. She doesn't wake up every 2 to 3 hours. Instead, she wakes up at fourth hour. I have tried all techniques of waking up the baby. What to do?
Um, you need to practically learn the techniques then. There's some lag that is happening because we usually, teach the mothers how to wake up the baby. Just try to open the diaper, lessen the clothes, open the wrap, tickle under the baby's feet nicely, tap, just do this on the ear or this. The baby will wake up or rub the back.
Okay. Is there any foods to avoid for breastfeeding?
Yeah, you should avoid taking raw fish or uncooked food. Otherwise, so there's no other food.
Okay. Does BP post delivery reduces milk supply?
No, nothing like this.
Okay.
It's demand and supply.
Okay. Baby sleeps in 5 minutes once he starts breastfeeding.
Yeah, every baby does that because breast is their home and habitat. You need to wake them up and breastfeed the baby for at least 10, 15 minutes. That's why I'm saying first wake up the baby nicely for 10 minutes and then breastfeed the active baby so that the baby takes in one go.
Okay. My nipples are leaking, but when I'm expressing out the milk, it's not coming more than 10 ml.
That is okay. Pumps don't have good suction. So whatever is coming in the pump is not necessary that what you have in the milk. You might be pumping 10 ml, but your breast might be having 100 ml. So don't get depressed by what is coming in the pump and don't rely on the pump.
Okay. How to know if baby is overfed? Do we feed the baby if they are spitting out milk?
No, if they're spitting out, you're not going to feed the baby. How to know if they're overfed? Of course, they will start doing up and they're going to puke out the milk. You will get to know if they're overfed. So you need to feed only 30 minutes max. After that, you can unlatch the baby.
Okay. Are you suggesting that I should not use ice pack for soreness of nipples and breast if my milk supply is not too much?
No, so soreness of breast, ice pack is not going to help for soreness of nipples. You need to use the pure lanolin ointment. Ice pack is when you have engorgement, when there are lumps, and your breast is red. Then you can use ice pack, or you have oversupply. If
Okay.
the milk is less, then you need to work on the latch. It's because of the latch the breast is not able to empty and the soreness is there.
Okay. I have heavy letdown and my baby is 10 weeks old, is unable to latch well. What can I do? I feed in laid down position. Also, I'm unable to empty my breast despite pumping after feeds. I have blocked ducts every couple days and my breast hurt. What can I do?
Uh, she has blocked ducts and
Blocked ducts every couple of days.
oh, that means that somewhere down the line the latching is not proper and this is happening again and again. The somewhere inside, the milk is not getting emptied. So you need to consult a lactation consultant. She's going to help you, like
Okay.
physically.
Okay. So, I apologize to the participants that we couldn't take each and every question separately as we had 100 plus questions coming in due to time constraints. So, we have tried to cover the overall questions in a consolidated way. If you have any further questions, you can post it on Cloud9 community, and either our experts or the fellow mamas will answer the queries, and we will make sure every query is answered. So thank you, Priyanka, for sharing such valuable insights into breastfeeding and
And
latching
I
techniques.
request everybody to please give your feedback about the session. If you like the session, please put a thumbs up or you can write in the chat box. That is really motivating for us also as consultants that, we can add more information. So, yeah, please give your feedback. That would be great.
Yeah. So this session has truly been an informative and reassuring session for all of us. Today we have covered so much from understanding how to latch correctly to learning different breastfeeding positions that ensure comfort for both mother and baby, as well as other important aspects to support breastfeeding. Priyanka has helped clarify many aspects of this beautiful yet sometimes challenging journey of breastfeeding. If you're eager to learn more and continue your journey with expert guidance, we are excited to offer you a special opportunity. You can enroll in our Beginner's Guide to Breastfeeding course, which dives deeper into everything we have discussed today, including professionally guided videos, checklists, and a peer supportive community. As a thank you for attending, we are offering a 20% discount. Use the code BFLIVE20 when you sign up. The link is in the chat and the offer will be available for 1 week only. Thank you again, Priyanka, for being such a wonderful speaker.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
thank you to all of you for joining us. We hope today's session has empowered you to begin or continue your breastfeeding journey with confidence. Have a great evening and happy feeding to everybody.
Thank you, Pooja, for the appreciation. Thank you, Anupama. Rest also, please give your feedback. That would be great. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.